messages for June. Now, I'm doing this message on the 10th, Perth, WA time. No, you can't see me. There's a direct reason, but we're going to get into that as everyone connects. This is a bit unannounced. For the next few days, I'm gauging it. I may be doing recorded readings and uploading them for Twin Flames, Soulmates, the Astrology. But right now, as I always say, there's some interesting energy. Now, as I mentioned, Venus is in shadow. The energy can become very malefic. Hi, everyone. No, you can't see me, and there's a reason. So we're just going to wait for everyone to connect, and then I'm going to give you these channeled messages I got. Now, I'm going to give you guys a few tools as to what this energy is and the way we potentially can deal with it. Now, this is my advice and my perspective. Now, I've been working as a psychic medium. Oh, my gosh. Knew I had the gift from very, very young. Have had a lot of experience with it, definitely, and I'm still learning and growing into it. Yes, we're just streaming now. I'm waiting for everyone to connect now. The camera is swapped so no one can see me, and there's a reason for that, because I've actually done a house clearing this morning. You cut your hair short. I told ya, don't be doing that during Venus shadow. Anyway, don't worry about it. It can grow back. Never mind. You're purging. So nobody can see me, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why. Now, there is a lot of dark energy around at the moment. So my highest advice to all of you is go into hermit mode for about 3 to 4 days. Be very careful what you're watching. Whatever you're watching, cleanse yourself after. When we're purging, we do these things because a lot of us are shedding our old skin. With the Kundalini waking up, it is moving, but because Venus is shadow, it's really acting up, and it's making it's how can I place it? It's dark energy, the shadow energy. Now, depending on what you believe in. You know, I've worked with the art of manifestation, which I believe we're doing at all times. It's also the laws of attraction. For 3 days, I strongly suggest you come to a space where you clear your homes, clean all your mirrors, wipe all your mirrors, because you find, especially with scrying, if you're tuning into a person, their energy can come into your home. If you are also doing that, that's okay. Try and sit outside on a veranda and do that energy work. Then when you go into your home, it is your bubble, okay? And I suggest this for 3 days because Venus is in shadow. It's very, very heavy dark energy, and attachments are possible. Now, I did put up a post on Facebook, and I did say, for any of you that are having hauntings or anything paranormal, you know, ask me questions. Feel free to, especially in the community tab. If you have any, you know, photos you want me to look at, I'm happy to do that. You know, we do have very, very dark energy at the moment. So because Venus is like this, you really do need to clear your space. Now, we say when Venus is in shadow, it's very much Mars energy, and it also can be very malefic. So it's very, how do I place it? It's scorpionic. So it's Pluto and Mars. So at the moment with Jupiter retrograde, masculine energies are retrograding and assessing. You also tend to find during Venus and shadow, things don't grow. Nothing's moving. It appears to be stagnant, but it's for us to allow everything to fall into place. So it's a bit like pieces of the puzzle coming together, allowing that to transform. And definitely with them at the moment, they're going down into the underrealm. Now, Neptune's going to be going retrograde as well, which is very connected to it. But all of us spiritually, it's just very heavy energy. So private sessions and things to that degree, you'll notice a couple of YouTubers are actually, you know, like they're going on strike, whatever. But the energy is more to do with the fact that, look, when you have Mercury retrograde, for us readers, it is hell. Oh, God, I knew this would happen. It is kind of very heavy. So energy work that we do, we tend to purge first. Then we have the energy for you and we give it an update. I'm being very protective of my auric field. So I have spent time doing gene removals and things to that degree, which you can do, guided meditation. Go through and smudge stick your entire house. Open the front door, the back door, clear your chakra at the top of your head, and go through the entire house and do such. And wash all your mirrors and your TV. So, because energy can actually hold inside mirrors. So go through and do your mirrors, your TVs, any shiny surfaces, and then air the house right out. Then close off your crown chakra, sit outside, and you can do the perimeter of your property. You can put salt at your front door as well, and just hold space for 3 days. Now, you can go out, but when you're coming back in the house, clear your chakra before you enter. Otherwise, your energy is going to be disrupted. You can do, but the energy being as heavy as it is at the moment, the thing is you won't need to look for it. It will look for you. Other people won't be acting normally. They may be very projectile. It can be, especially if if we have energies around us that are in the ego and codependent. If you've done work on that, you may start looking like you have not done work. And with the Kundalini, sometimes you can even start reacting very often lower frequency. So while you're having that integration, it is safer for you and all to be doing that, in the energy of being in awareness of it. So if you are, spend a bit of time with it, allow it to rise, because a lot of us at the moment are having base chakra energy. And that is due to the fact that if your bones, your teeth and things like that, it's very Saturn. But with the serpent rising, you'll find you can, if you research it, I put something in the community tab, so go ahead and go read it and do your own personal research. Obviously, if it's anything that needs checking, yes, you go to the doctors. I'm not a physician. But from a holistic spiritual point of view, it does make sense. You're going to go off your food. You might have hot and cold sweats. You can feel like you're having a soul walk, and you can feel fair-based frequency all of a sudden, then it goes away. Some of this energy is also linked to divine partnerships where telepathically they're very much awake. So in a sense, if you're getting pain body experiences, it's actually very positive. It's confirmation that these things are moving. But dark energies and people that really haven't done work on themselves can be getting very aggressive at the moment. So it's really a very, very iffy time with Venus in shadow. Now, Mercury in shadow is also doing the same, but also Mercury is going to be entering into Cancer. So this very karmic cycle that we've moved out of with the nodes, what you'll get, the teeth, bones and things like that, and the flushes, it is Kundalini, but it's also Saturn retrograde. Because if you look at the energy of chakras, and even putting a bowl of water under your bed and then discarding it each morning, you can even place a little bit of salt so it purges it out, and placing crystals under. Haven't had, So, hi, Dal. The camera's not on because I'm protecting my aura. Also because I'm not allowing any karmics. They're going to follow my Facebook anyway, but I'm allowing them not to know what I'm doing. So I'm protecting my auric field and my decision making of what I'm doing moving forward, and I'm keeping them in the dark. The energy is awful. Look, I remember, oh God, when I went through a stage of my process, which never think that a person who's in reunion isn't going through the same. We do, and I'll do videos separate to this, but I'm very much going through a process of what you're going through. But yes, certain stages I have gone through, and you can repeat, but it's more from a different perspective. But collective energy, as per se, does resonate. And that's with first, second and third waivers, be it you're in communication, connection, or single, you all are going through a very similar transition, which is an upgrade. So try not to ever think that there's no transformation, because definitely with my clientele, I've got 6 people now going into union. I've also had a lot of people in more communication. I'm also getting the energy of envy coming through from the external, which is part of the journey. It sort of does happen. But really not focusing and giving them any energy that they're entitled to, because that's their work to do. Tuning out of it, keep walking forward. You don't want to take that energy into your house right now with Venus Malefic. Now, Mercury going retrograde, you've got to remember it does link to the nodes. Plus, we're going to have an eclipse in Cancer, so we've got a double whammy there. Communication, a lot of meditation upon it, especially connected to feminine, especially connected to, us with female energies, our intuition. A lot of us at the moment, especially feminines, are more in their masculine. And it's because we are on guard, protective, and, we have been doing that for a very long time. Most of us have alchemized the yin and yang, be it male or female, but some of us are a little bit out of balance and on the defense because it's fair-based frequency, so it's going into the hunter-gatherer mode. So we need to get back into circle of concern. What can we do to actually focus the energy back on what is dependable, which is us, which is within our control, which is protecting your auric field, upgrading your energy. Every planet is almost retrograde. Well, there's 7, okay? So with that this month, 7 is very spiritual. It's also deeply financial, it can be. But it's also connected to 7 stages of healing. So with retrogrades, your chakra systems are going to get hit. And that's an awful lot. So it's quite a big energy this month. So go gentle with yourself. I could say be patient, but more towards yourself. Be patient. Try not to... I can't say don't focus on counterpart energies. But protection of your aura is what I'm coming to you to do today. And it's more so you can make it through these next 3 days. The laws of attraction are, if you're thinking it, feeling it, absorbing it, that's kind of method for disaster. So we want to shift the energy back onto you just for this one moment for 3 days to remove the darker energies from our auric field so that we can upgrade, because we are light. We need to move back into the light so that we can purge some of these things. And I mean, when I say purge, not magnetize it. We don't need that. That's not ours. That's sort of like space junk. Let's allow the space junk to just float out into space for 3 days, and then we can get back to that movement. Now, the eclipse in Cancer is also going to be linked to karmics, connections, our belief systems, paradigms of, the Sagittarius energy. It can be, when you do look at it, it's siblings. It's still family related, right? It's our belief systems we were purging to do with our conditioning, which light workers really do that. At first you're moving into it and you're looking at it very 3D. You're like, this is the way a normal relationship's supposed to be. And the whole path just teaches you such the polar opposite, to the point you can't believe what you go through, but you just grasp it as you proceed forward. So attachment energy and ego projection is going to be coming up big time. So if people are telling you what you're doing isn't right or that isn't acceptable, but you've done everything you can, just sitting in space for a little bit to find inner peace, your moral compass, and not being hard on yourself at the moment, because you do the best you can. We don't owe anyone anything. We are not Gaius or God. We can't make the world perfect. And we also can't own other people's paths. And it's really something to do with, it can be counterpart, it can be karmic, it can be family. So, really sitting with that and being forgiving for yourself and washing with salt water, clearing that energy out. Yeah, because we are moving through the ego. So the insomnia, to a degree, is almost us trying to come to terms with tuning into ourselves. Plus, because we can feel this vibration shifting. Hi, Dale. No, you can't see the camera. I'm protecting my auric field today, which, if you do go back and listen to the video, you'll understand why. And this is what I'm really guiding you guys to do right now. If you find you're living with someone and they trigger you, try not to tune into it. Go and find a safe space in your home and sit quietly and sit with that energy, because they will be bouncing. Each of us individually are all uniquely upgrading. If you're needing to keep your cards close to your chest, do so. If you're needing to create healthy boundaries, it always comes down to us. What can you do? What can't you do? And that's okay too. You can only do the best you can. Everything will move into alignment, but it's about also having that self-respect to self, where you're focusing on what you can and can't do. Now I'll read your questions, but definitely smudge stick your house. Like I said, you walk to the front door, you clear your space. And before you do that, open the front and the back door. Open the windows and things to that degree. I put a meditation on there to do a karmic hex. And that's for black magic or anything to that degree. Because again, you know, people do believe in evil eye. And again, psychically, when you are tuning into an individual, you're tapping into it, they've tapped into you, it's then in your home. You don't want that. So if you're doing that, do that outside. If you're tuning into what the karmic's doing, what mother, father, whatever it is. If you find it's heavy energy, do that outside of your home, smudge stick your head, and then go back inside. You do not take that energy in. So, yeah, me too. So from the front door, you clear your space and anchor your energy in. Smudge stick your head, be prepared. You then walk in and you go from the front, room by room, setting your intentions to clear the energy and protect the house. And you're ridding it. You're going from the front to the back and you're putting it out. You can put salt on your front door. And you'll find lower frequency energies will feel very uncomfortable in being there. If they hold lower vibration, they won't stay in the home. And you'll know who has evil intent towards you. Plus, they'll feel very uncomfortable. And it's almost like universe removes them from the house. Then you move all the way towards the back of the house. Again, clear your space, anchor your energy back in, and then you can return inside. And if you need to, you can also have a shower. So at the moment, so I don't become a visual for whomever is chucking evil eyes anywhere, because it's going to be everywhere, guys. It's not just one energy. Because Venus is malefic, people are acting in lower frequencies. All right? So clear your crystals. Try not to be too frustrated in the next 3 days, because with it being there, you feel like nothing's moving. If you're focusing on what you have nothing control over, you're actually reducing your auric field. You're going to have worse ascension symptoms. So just be patient with yourself for 3 days. Try and set that date in your mind. And know that because we do have the eclipse ending out that nodal effect, the next month we are having the Capricorn eclipse, which is the other aspect of the nodes. And then we have the new moon in Cancer. So we've got a little bit of time where we're closing that out. You've got to trust the process. Okay? Now read your questions. Yeah, so universe does this to place us to sit. Yeah, just trust in the process. Wherever you've been placed, it's actually to protect you. This is ironic, isn't it? And I do feel most of you, if you are moving your vibration high, you're aurically protected regardless. Dreams and conversations are watching TF telling karmic she's picking up. Yeah, try not to tune into the karmic right now, because you're going to bring that energy in. Usually it's preparing you for what's to come, but it is because they're thinking of you and you're telepathically getting that. And that's a sign that masculine's awoken, because they're telepathically connected now. But I'm talking more from a holistic point of view, not just twin flame, you know, because you got to remember, part of the journey is to take just that we are, yeah, but you know what? With that, what does it say? And I'm not tapping into religion right now, but more from a perspective of, if you're given the tools, you can't just be giving your power away. We need to protect ourselves. It's our job to do what is within our control. There was a saying in a poem written once, and it was talking about all these things, lifeboat coming. And they're like, no, I'm trusting in this, I'm trusting in this. It's like, look, if you're given opportunities and you choose not to take it, we can't blame anyone but ourselves. If we're needing to move forward and we're needing to do certain things, I was even talking to, Giggle about this morning. And when I think back to my whole path in life, I would not be the person I am today. And there were certain things that were ushered into my life for that upgrade. So you have to directly understand that. Thanks, beautiful. So just, purging is part of the process. I'll just say it. Yeah, that meditation's one thing, and that's great. But at the moment, with these real dark energies, you do really need to clear the energy out of your home. Even if you tune into, like I'm doing this reading in a remote location so that this energy doesn't go back into the house. That is how strong the energy is. So you really need to be mindful of that at the moment, because Venus is malefic. So actually doing your shadow work if you need to, just maybe outside or away from the house, and not living there too long. Clearing your energy off, going back inside. Yeah, good. Use your crystals. Also, you know, what if you don't find a solution to things, let it go. Go to the water, wash it off you, and allow universe to take its course, because universe, you know, 9 times out of 10 when there was stuck energy throughout my whole life, whenever I went through the 7 stages of healing, going through the third eye, finally when I was so exhausted to the point I couldn't find a solution and I let go, bang, a solution came about. Yes, because you'll find that your counterpart energy is having an upgrade. So you become fatigued just as you ascend. Usually you're getting tired because you purged something. So, you know, you're battling it, you've purged it, you've detached it. You'll find, you know, a heating up in a particular chakra or ache, and then that's a sign that you're outgrowing it. You're shedding that skin. So it's actually a very positive sign. It's like, oh, wow, okay, I've achieved something. I don't know how I did it, but great, let's move forward. Yeah, you're always protected. It's just more the BS. And, you know, really going, and some of these things have to come in that way, just to make both energies own their power. Because the power you have is yes and no, do or don't. That's the power you have. You can't control another person, but you can control how you directly relate. Yeah, well, 2020 is a vibration 4 and 2021's a vibration 5. And I mean, I've had experience with 5 energies, you know, and it's like, that's massive change. You know, that's massive change. Yes, you should do, JC. Wherever you are, the energy is, because your auric field, when you're tired, what happens is your auric field drops down. When you're depleted, you don't have an auric field protecting you. It diminishes. You know, if they scan you, you'll see it's very thin. So to upgrade your energy, that's why we say, you know, being intimate with someone while you're bruised, you're wounded, you're healing, you're giving your power away. And the sacral chakra and solar plexus need upgrading. It's like recharging a battery, and then your auric field becomes larger. You're protected, you're vibrating high. Plus, you pour all of that energy into your creative endeavors and the law of attraction as it comes back to you in a positive sense. Does that make sense? It is heavy at the moment. It is very heavy. So I'm giving you this information. Use it as you will. Be disconcerting, obviously. But my guides are talking to me, and I'm like, this is the way we need to be dealing with this right now. Now, also, part of your path, although you guys, whoever is watching, it is, yes, we do focus on soul path, but I will 100% tell you, you are also, some of you, maybe, and you do need to look at this yourself, because this is where I had stumbling blocks on my path. When we are too fixated and don't understand that we are so much more than just one energy, i.e. TF, there are also other areas in your life that directly relate to TF. So when I'm asking you on Facebook, you know, do you want me to tune into something else? Try and understand you're more than just that one energy. And sometimes when we don't grasp that, we're actually missing blockages. So is there something else happening in your life where you're blocked? Having a look at that, because that can be the stumbling block in it, yet you're thinking just the layman's terms of the person, but there's the energy work. So it could be your career sector. It might be a family-related dynamic. It could be a haunting in your house. That's why I try to tune into various energies. But I did give people the opportunity to actually, like, I've had many things happen. I've had paranormal situations happen. I can channel past over loved ones, but I'm finding a majority of the questions are really TF. And we've really got to shift that, because, you know, part of our light work energy is to do with big situations. It's to do with helping the collective understand relationships. It can be energy clearing. You're basically turning into a psychic through the process. So there's a lot more than just, how do I place it? It's not that that energy is not going to happen. That is, but it's also, don't discount all the other energies in your life. You are more than that, and the energy and vibration of where we get to it anyway. Without me making this statement, but it can actually show where you are on the journey. When you look at all those things that you need to do to fill your cup, you do tend to find things smooth, but karmically speaking, it's very heavy. I feel there's something blocking me. You're manifesting like a pro. Look, like I said to Giggle, with Jupiter being in Capricorn at the moment, be it you're in union or you're not, nobody at this point, Jupiter in Capricorn, it's like your tyre pops and, you want them to change the tyre, but they can't. No, you can't. So anyone coming into connection at the moment, if you're going to be codependent in anything or be triggered, it won't work. And when I say it's not going to work, it's not you never see that person again. You're going to get triggered as hell because, I am very busy. Twin is very busy, but we're not codependent where we need to control each other. We're doing things very separately, and we have done for a while now, and it's due to the astrology. It's the way the ascension process is going. Be it you're single, coupled, or, wherever you are. It is collective energy, and it's trying not to take it personal. Understanding, some people could be clearing debts. Some people could be leveling up and doing other things. So for you to understand that, that's what you want, yet it's not going to happen overnight. There's work that's done in that. It's allowing for that to happen without getting triggered. Do you know what I mean? So it's not, at the moment with the shadow energy, if they're dealing with anything connected to a job, a family, whatever, that karmic energy can be a parent. It can be whoever. And 9 times out of 10, it's more than one. It's many areas and facets. Yeah, because it's part of your soul mission and you don't even need to be, how do I put it? You don't need to be a reader. You will energetically, whoever you touch base with in your life, you may trigger people around you. They may be waking up and changing. The family members around you can be going through that. Your life, and you will learn from them and they will learn from you. So you're doing it without having to do anything. So sometimes when we're talking about soul mission, where you're supposed to be is where soul mission is. So when you're having things falling down around you, it's you've missed something. At the moment, that's not going to be so, because it's too maleficent energy. It's be in hermit mode. You want to go out. Try not to get in too much ego that nothing's moving. We're doing just for a few days. Try not to have that expectation there. If you need to do something, you have to. But just where it's at, it's going to be a bit frustrating. So it's like, no, I wouldn't say holding space. Try not to have an expectation. Be fluid. Protect your auric field. Yeah, but sometimes us thinking we need to be perfect is a purge we need to have, because, be it you to not. There's never going to be a perfect, and we need to disconnect from a perfect. It's not about trusting each other, doll. You feel conflicted because you're looking at the past. If you can see that that person is changing, any person can hurt you. If you still feel love, it's about you having enough strength inside yourself to move forward. And look, I will say, and I did mention this last year, those of you that come into union, you'll be booking readings then, because it is very interesting going back into that situation, because you have to check yourself. Because to move forward, anytime we're looking back, go get a tool. That's fine. You live there and you feel that everything, in a sense, is going to be the same in the future. You're re-manifesting it. It's not so. The universe will show you it's not so. But you will struggle with your ascension because it's an egoic state. Anything can happen with anyone. If anything, you should find it amusing that 9 times out of 10, twin flames are meant to go down a soul process. So neither of you can get rid of each other. It's part of the process, so stop getting scared over it. No video because I'm protecting my auric field, and all of you guys for the next 3 days need to clear your house. So go to the beginning of the video after. I've given you guys all these tips. I've talked about the astrology, and try and just remove yourself from karmic frequencies because they're lower frequency right now. They're going to come in and out at the moment, Dale, because we have Venus and shadow. Just allow it to transform over the next 3 days, and then more clarity will come. People at the moment are trying to make amends with the past, be it at a higher or lower frequency. So we're trying to understand. It can be causing anxious energy. Yeah, it's just part of the energy. Just allow for 3 days to pass. Try not to focus. You think about it. If anyone is dealing with a toxic energy and you're thinking on them and trying to decipher what they're thinking, if they can't even think what they're thinking and they think it's crazy, how the heck do you think you're gonna think it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, don't tune into that because it comes into your vibration. Just for 3 days, be really careful, as I said. If you do listen to videos, try and do it outside. If it does trigger you, tune out. But as for full movement, people are going to get a lot more communication. And there's really going to be a slingshot moving forward. I do feel some of these things can be actually... I don't know why I'm picking this, but I feel there could be a lot of agitation that can come up with the masculines. Where owning a power, sometimes when that comes out of nowhere, it can look quite ugly. So allow them to create their own healthy boundaries. Does that make sense? You hold on to that, Tumbaline. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but do you know... Okay, Justin, I'm going to ask you a question. What are you thinking about from the past separate to him that you maybe are feeling guilty about? Is it a soulmate energy? I'm still here. I'm just waiting for Justine. Hi, Dale. How are you? How are you, Derry? I love you. Having fun? Great energy? Listen to the beginning of the video. It's really important. There you go. Okay, so at the moment, feminines, some of you might have had a soulmate energy. This is where it always is dualistic. It's happening at the same time. If somebody had been really nice to you, even you thinking it, you haven't let it go. You're feeling guilt. Let it go. You can't make everyone happy. While you're thinking on that, and then our ego's coming in saying they've got analysis paralysis, what are we doing? It is the same thing. Because sometimes we want to make everyone happy. But maybe you can't make everyone happy and there's projection coming. Could be coming from our kids. It could be coming from our family members, siblings, our mother, our father, our work colleague, our best friend, our twin. And then we can be doing it towards whatever that be. Have a look at what's coming up. I guarantee you there will be a correlating energy. If you have a mindset to do with what your twin's doing, then stop, stand back and go, how does this directly relate to me? Yes, exactly. You're beating yourself up. But guess what? If you know for certain you love this person and you're thinking about that, is it because you've got compassion? That's okay. Have compassion. But hey, compassion, doing something for the sake of another is not healthy. Because they can get that from somewhere else. It's not, you're not God. You can't make every person's life happy. If anything, you pretending and living a lie is like the Leo King says, taking the red pill or the green pill, doesn't matter. Do you want to be in denial going into a situation just because they were great to you? That's not fair. It's ego. So we are purging what they deem in the Kundalini as the monkey mind. It's like we're going up in our heads going, oh, this person was nice. Well, they can be as nice as they want. But you're being nice and it's almost like we're being too strict on ourselves because of paradigms. We're purging paradigms. You can't make everyone happy. Peace be on you. Whether you are a high, it's the same as, a masculine maybe having a belief about family, children, mother, father, boss, and they're being negative. They're feeling maybe, the person is a victim. It's the same as us feeling maybe that person that was really nice to us is a victim. It's the same crap. Let it go. We can't make the world happy. Let's just go be the best versions of ourselves we can be. And everyone has their own karma. Everyone has their own life lessons. Yeah. I released my twin and okay. That's quite complex because, okay, Natasha, honestly, if there's something really going on, like I can give you some advice, but you're going to find the best out of a private reading because we can really get into the nit and grit of the attachments, the connections, who these people are, and I can show you directly where the blockage is. But in a sense, usually, you need to look at why you let twin go. Are you running? If something hasn't moved, it's about just standing still and allowing that to resolve. Our ego tells us all this is forever. In truth, the laws of attraction are once we upgrade it, that person upgrades. So we're doing these upgrades simultaneously. When they run, you're running inside. Because feminines are the receptor. Think about it. Look at it in a mirror sense. What's going on inside you right now in the 3D is going on outside of masculine's life. So you directly are mirroring each other all the way through the journey. To change that, do the inner work. What's going on inside? What's coming up? Now, I did find that I attracted a twin at the end. But they, and so did my twin. But neither of them had their life where it needed to be, and they weren't our twin. Again, when you're holding guilt, thinking that maybe the grass is, I wouldn't even say, that the grass is greener on the other side. The ego of saying, well, maybe this wasn't meant to be. It's maybe we just need to sit and hold space for a minute and not find another thing to fill our needs, but just for a little bit, not run from ourselves and just sit with that energy and go, okay, what's coming up with me? You're getting asked on dates because you have removed yourself from the 5D and acknowledged the fact that you want something in the 3D. So now you're attracting energy and you'll find you will get contact from your twin. And that happened every bloody time for me. I'll be like, I'm ready for a 3D connection. Not that I knew it from a spiritual point of view. And at the same time as all these people will come towards me, it was a spiritual test. Are you in truth and accepting for that to come in now that you made peace with what happened in the last cycle? And bang, people would come in and I would have a choice. And I would choose the opposite because it didn't. Why? Because I didn't trust myself. That was my work. If you're going to do energy work, and you do it with the one that you want to do it with, you're going to run away, well, you're just delaying the inevitable of where you're going to be. Yeah, it's like, and so what I did was spend time with male energies and started respecting myself more so from a perspective of why do I have to give? Why can't I receive? And I'll go enjoy their time. And I really do enjoy time with males and females. Having that, energy of communication, conversations, first base energy, guys, not third base. But energetically inside you, you will be running from something. There's something you don't want to look at. And I know that because I've been on the journey 20 years and I did deep reflection after my last separation. I was like, wow. And it really removed my ego in that viewpoint of the paradigms of what they say in TF Journey, that when I was like, oh, this is getting a bit much. I don't want to do this. And it was more from something in a blockage in me. Yeah. But the runner, whenever we're running, there's something we're not looking at in our life. That's why I always say, jot it down. Write down your belief systems. Step away for a little bit, what they are to do with TF. Step away and see the mirror. Where are you maybe doing something similar, or have you in the past ever done that? because we always tend to, we will live the same as what the other did in some shape or form. And it's so that we can grasp their concept. And that moves us into the energy of unconditional love, because we're like, hey, I've done that before. I didn't mean to. Maybe I didn't know I was doing that. And that's where the closure comes from. It's where the forgiveness comes from. It's where the perspective comes from. It'll open up, Chris. It's closer than you think. Yeah, just sit with the energy and see what comes up with the running energy. Yeah, me too, Dal. Me too. Maybe hurt people I never intended to. Maybe was scared at times and was codependent. Had the compassion, but it was like, too many things. So, not to the total degree, but enough to go, I can see your perspective there. I get where you're coming from. That must have been tough. And I mean, I'd rather be a feminine than a masculine. And I have been hell and back. But when I look at my twin's life, I'm like, I would have been all sorts of toxic. I would have turned into a karmic if I had to go through what he went through. I'm telling you, I would have been in jail. No, thank you. It will be, because Neptune's going retrograde. You'll find there will be a lot of, plus with eclipses 2 weeks and 2 weeks out. And we've literally got about 3 eclipses back to back. We got the eclipse in Sagittarius was on the 5th. That's still playing out to the end of the month. So don't feel something can just show up out of nowhere, straight on that date. It's never just on that date. Plus, because Venus is in Scorpio sort of thing, it's it's in the underground, it's very Mars energy. A lot of imbalances are coming up to be readdressed. Then we got Mercury moving into Cancer, going retrograde, so that was in shadow as well. So there's already themes playing out to do with connections and karmic energy and family and mothers and siblings. It's all playing out. So you'll see things around you happening. It's just, it's a 3, it's technically we've got 3 eclipses. So we've got the Sagittarius eclipse we just went through, that's playing out. Moving into the eclipse in Cancer, which was from the previous nodes, that's at 0 degrees. It's critical, again, wherever that placement is. I mentioned it in the previous video. And I did mention it, I do believe, in the Venus videos. So go and have a look at that, and always go back and look at the videos after the month has moved and see how closely it resonates, because it'll always have something in it and you'll go, oh crap, that happened, sort of thing. So, listening to a video is one thing, but unless you can see how the energy correlates, always a good way to gauge a good reading is to go back after that month's ended. And, some of these energies have really been flowing over to the following month, and I've been dating them that way because of how the transits are going. So before I looked at the astrology for one of the masculine reads and feminines with the karmic, Scorpio came up in the ruins, and that's because Venus was in shadow, and that's before I looked. And I was like, oh, heck. Then we're moving into July, and we have the Capricorn eclipse. So we've been working on these energies for 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, and we're cycling them out. We'll also have a new moon in Cancer then as well. So it's technically the heaviest, I would say, this month, but yes, it could be during the Capricorn eclipse, especially for government energies. That's a good place to be. You're in alignment. That's, it's the salt and that's where it needs to come to. Initially, it can feel very intoxicating and addictive. And it's when you've actually managed to balance your own energy and you don't look at it from a perspective, I need to run. No, I can say yes and no. I have control over my addiction to my twin. And I do then check in with what is going to be healthy for me. It's like, I can love you, and I do love you unconditionally, but I also have to respect myself and love myself and know I do have power. And so the healthy boundary isn't telling a person what to do. The healthy boundary is, okay, check in with yourself. How does that make you feel? Speaking it from an adult perspective, being human at times, and you do get triggered, but then stepping back and checking yourself. Okay, is this my ego? Is there some work maybe to be done? Is this an old wound? Now, it's very different when the wound is being stabbed. Yeah, but the healthy boundary is just speaking from your perspective of how things make you feel. And sometimes just sitting with that and living through it a little bit to the point you allow something to transform, but you don't let it navigate you anymore. You don't let the past navigate you. You don't let the future. You keep moving forward. Yeah, so you're more open to do that. You're almost your own therapist. Let me place it that way. Okay, my beautifuls, if you're needing a booking, like I said, I'll probably do these reads for the next few days where I am doing them away from the house because, I'm tapping into your energies and there can be karmic energies connecting in with you and your twin. So I'm doing this energy work away from the house. My readings I can because I can clear the space privately. But as for the home energy, I'm protecting the auric field of it at the moment, and I want you guys to go and do that for yourselves. If you are tuning into any of it and you do need emergency bookings, I've got them. I've also still got the specials there. And it can be anything. You can be asking me to look at your astrology. This can be for finances, for your career, with particular transits that might be coming up that could affect you, as well as psychically, anything I see. But definitely, if you see readers tapping out and not wanting to be on YouTube, you got to understand it's very dark at the moment. So if they haven't moved through their auric protection field, it is very heavy and you need to know how to actually manage it. So plus, in a sense, when some things are going to be temporarily out of our control due to shadow, it's not that no movement's happening, polar opposite actually, but it can be a bit like Uranus retrograde. Yeah, we have to be, don't we, our own therapist? But that's healthy. That's that you're adult enough to actually see where you are choosing to be responsible for your emotions. You're not codependent. You're not like, you made me feel this way. Well, yeah, the initial wound might have occurred by somebody else placing it there. And it might be your twin. It might be your mother or father, whoever that be. But what you do with that after that is your responsibility. Even if a person says sorry, and this is what I come to believe, it was like, oh, crap, they've said sorry, but why am I still thinking about it? I then had to look at it enough to diffuse it enough that it wouldn't hurt me. It's like, okay, I need to make peace with this wound. Sometimes it's not my fault. Things just happen sometimes, or looking at it from an external perspective. But it's the 7 stages of healing. So, the coaching sessions I do with people helps you get to that. And I do give examples of ways I've had it so that I can help you guys go through that. I try to give you the tools to get yourself out of that so it doesn't control your life, because it'll affect every facet. It'll affect your career. It'll affect the way you trust people, your relationship with your intuition. It's not just about twin. Yes, it is, but that wound, once it's in there, whoever put it there, we need to get you guys back on track to a point it doesn't prevent you from having a beautiful life. We don't want that. Yes, because I'm telling you, it's malefic, and the thing is, there's dark energy. So the techniques I've given you guys today on this video, go back to the very beginning, listen to the whole thing, go and do that at home, and balance yourself for the next 3 days. There's no need to tune into media right now. It is not going to help you. Get your energy up, then we can upgrade the energy and we can hold space, which is our job as light workers, and we can anchor it in for those that are having their awakenings, which can even be karmic energies, to be quite honest. But we can create the balance. So we need to be doing that right now. Anchor it in, do your clear yourself, and breathe. Okay, love yous all. Take very, very good care, and I will check in with you shortly.